Today, I want to give you 2 ways that will reboot your church's outreach potency. We're talking about a church outreach makeover, how to reach more people for Christ. I'm going to show you 2 very specific ways you can do this and enact this in your church. I'm also going to help you understand the benefits of these 2 ways, and I'm going to give you one specific step I want you to take today. There's no doubt that church growth occupies the mind of every single pastor. We want to reach our communities. We want to be a blessing, but we also want to see people come to Christ. We want to see people discipled and transformed into the image of Jesus. If you enjoy the channel and you're enjoying this video, please subscribe, hit that like button. I really appreciate you watching the video and being part of our channel here on YouTube. Well, let's jump into the very first one, because the second one is quite interesting, and I don't see many churches using the very second one, but I think a number of churches do this first one. Spend some of your local missions money on bringing personal evangelism training to your church. I think all churches would benefit if they took some time out, both on a Sunday morning through their small groups and a special seminar, workshop, whatever you want to call it, where you actually train your church in personal evangelism, how to share their faith, how to overcome objections, how to answer difficult, challenging questions, how to actually invite someone to a church event, how to connect with someone. There are all sorts of different methodologies and approaches to this. And in Australia, where I primarily do my consulting work, I actually have a few people that I refer pastors to, and I say, hey, get that person in. They'll be great for a Sunday sermon. But the better thing is I'll actually bring some training to your church about how everyone can do personal evangelism way, way better than you're already doing it. Why not take some of your local missions money that you might raise in a faith promise campaign every year, or money that you might do through a special offering, and really pour some resources, some endeavors, some efforts to really boost this area of your church's life. Now, the second key, the second example, I've only got 2 today, but this one is very different. And I've written an entire blog post on it that I'm going to give you a link for, because it's a step-by-step process that I think can really help churches grow. And I'm talking about email devotionals for people who used to go to church but no longer go to church. Now, there's no doubt, because of the pandemic and all sorts of other reasons, there are thousands of people here in Australia, but also in your nation. There's probably thousands of people who used to go to church but don't go to church anymore. These people have been maybe hurt. Maybe they've backslidden, they've gone into sin. Maybe they've just lost the habit, which I think a lot of people did during the pandemic. Maybe they've just lost their way. They've kind of got dispirited and discouraged, and they just stopped turning up, and someone rang them and followed them up, but they just didn't want to go back to church. I believe there are thousands of people in our community who used to go to church who actually know that they're missing something in their spiritual life. Sure, they probably still love Jesus, they probably still pray, maybe even dive into their Bible occasionally, but they don't go to church, and they're missing out on that community feeling, that community vibe, that community connection that comes through being part of a local church. So let me give you a snapshot of this whole concept of email devotionals for unchurched people. Now, I'm giving you a link to a blog post, which is a step-by-step guide to lead you through this whole process. But the actual kernel of it, the real concept at its core, is basically going, you know what? There are a whole bundle of people out there who used to go to church, don't go to church anymore, and they're all online. They're all cruising through Instagram, Facebook, they might be on Twitter, they might be on TikTok, wherever. And the idea is, again, take some money from your local missions budget, build a team together, and I go through this in the step-by-step guide. Click the link, it'll give you all the details, but I want to give you the overall, the macro view of it. Get together a team, spend some money on this, write some email devotionals that are spiritual in nature, that mention Jesus, that draw people to Christ. but actually just lead them back into a sense of, oh, yeah, I'm really missing walking with the Lord with the community like I used to in my life. Then advertise these email devotionals on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you think your kind of community is hanging out on social media. Run some ads, get some people signed up to these email devotionals. People sign up to all sorts of things online. I sign up regularly to all sorts of things online to get freebies, downloads, whatever, templates, coaching, whatever. I'm signing up for whatever's been offered out there that I think can help me. People sign up and you just automate this whole process where they get sent an email every day or every 2 or 3 days over a period of weeks, and you gradually make a connection with them. And then you introduce your church to them. Now, this is all automated. And if you click the link, you'll find all the details in my step-by-step process. And then gradually you introduce the connection to your church. And then also in the right timing, you invite them to an event at your church. It might be an Easter event, a Christmas event, a special Sunday, or it might be just a very normal Sunday. Now you can automate this email process. All the work is in the preparation, the writing, the setting up of the automation. You'll need some help with this. That's why you'll need to tap your local missions budget for this entire program, because I think it's worth spending money to reach people, good people. Not everyone who's left the church is a bad person. They've lost their way. They've been hurt, disappointed, got out of the habit. Who knows why? But there are a lot of good people out there who don't go to church anymore, who, if a church reached out to them in a very friendly, low-key way with email devotionals, I think there are people waiting to be invited back into the house of God, into the community of believers. So there you go. Check out the link. Now, the link is in the description below. Click the link, get the step-by-step guide, talk about it with your team, put together a team, throw some of your money at it, and I think you will reap a harvest out of this process of sowing those seeds. God bless you. Jump into that blog post.